Hey everybody, how are you doing? And I hope all is well. It's kinda well over here. I didn't get that much sleep during the last few days, but yeah, we have to deal with it. And of course, I have coffee. It's actually still a bit hot. Yeah. Let's put it over here. And we are starting with our priority questions. And priority questions are questions asked by patrons that pledge more than $7. I think that was the amount. And the patron that pledges more than $7 that actually asked a question is a dial-up salesman. And he asks me, can you walk through the process of deciding what to put on a reverb send and how many verb sends you should have? Or if you should use different reverbs on each channel. I've seen conflicting opinions on reverb. So in my opinion, what reverb does is actually it puts sounds closer to you or further away. And when you add more reverb, it puts it further away. So it really depends on your imagination, on what you imagine a sound should be placed at. This is of course a difficult answer. So where to put on reverb, there isn't an absolute rule for that. You really have to know the capabilities of your reverb and really have to know what you can create. You can create a dream world with reverb. How many verb sends you should have, or if you should use different reverbs on each channel. So to be honest, I always use a separated reverb per sound. It's mainly a luxury problem because if I use plug-in reverbs, then my Mac can run it. I can, I don't know, stack 100 reverbs on top of each other and it still doesn't run out of power. And with analog, same story. I print the reverb underneath the dry channel, and that's because it gives me way more versatility in terms of what I want to do. It's also that sometimes for vocals or something, sometimes I want to place the vocal a bit more behind and I want to automate that stuff, and it's easier to automate just the volume, making things easier for myself. I also always put my reverbs on a send and not on the direct channel, but I think you figured that one out right now. Next question is from Tom Hamlin. He also asked this one on Patreon, but he doesn't get priority answer, it's just a good question. This may be a better idea for a different video altogether, but I'll still ask. With your extensive knowledge of analog circuits, what are the differences between types of compressors? FET, VCA, optical, etc. What do those differences affect the sound of the compression? Lastly, are those differences in sound even audible, necessary for mixing electronic music? So the differences between those compressors, they are actually huge, and they are not only huge in terms of the sound they are giving, but also on the difference of the dynamic influence they are making. Like an optical compressor is really, it's a really lazy compressor, for instance, and a FET compressor is a really quick compressor. A vari-mu compressor is a tube compressor, which also has its own character. So if you dive into it, it's really clear what the differences are, and the differences are actually pretty huge. That's something that I could make a different video about, of course. Are the differences audible or necessary for mixing electronic music? I would say yes, because you will get way more versatility. So it's something to look into. What do you prefer to use? Yeah, all of them. You know, my wish list does include all those different characters for compressors in my studio, and the reason that I don't have them, if I buy a compressor I want to buy the best one. So for an optical compressor I want to buy the original LA2A and not a clone or something like that. I just want the best of the best of the best of the best of the...
We're here because you're looking for the best of the best of the best, sir!
Sabrina Vella says, I get wet when I watch your channel. Your knowledge is sexy. XX. I'll buy you a towel. Puppies in Space. You are a fake ass piece of shit and no talent fuckboy. Okay. Matt Bell. Whoa, you record at 192. Yes, and stay tuned for a video about 192 kilohertz, because I've actually made a list of benefits that 192 kilohertz made for me, and that list was actually pretty long. So I will make a separated video about that, and that will be a bit of a technical, well, very technical video, and a very interesting video. So I don't only want to focus on the theory behind 192, but also on my experiences in practice, in what did I really experience and what did really benefit me, because we all know there's a huge discussion about these high sample rates, and it's kind of snake oil, but it also kind of makes sense. Yeah. Tomasz Holyk, when you mix kick and bass, do you often have to deal with phase problems and frequency clashing, or is it something the producers more often deal with on their own? Also, what happened to your fingernail? Well, my fingernail is pretty simple. I was just playing with the dog of my parents, and dog went a bit enthusiastic and he bit me, but it wasn't anything special. It was kind of like more my own mistake. When you mix kick and bass, do you have often to deal with phase problems and frequency clashing? Well, what I really like about Reaper is that it has really easy phase flipping buttons, and I always try to push them a bit so to check out if everything is in phase, or it could be even better, could even make more impact. To be honest, sometimes the interference between the kick and the bass can make a really great sound. I actually just made a hip-hop track in which the clashing actually really made something really nice. So you don't always have to chase a phase perfection in that kind of stuff. Also, what I sometimes do is I work on the tail of a kick. I sometimes shorten the kick, like the last tail, because what happens a lot is that the last bit of the tail of the kick is like 20 or 30 hertz, and it almost seems like, and it's realistic, that the producers didn't hear that last tail because of the room acoustics, because of their speakers. And my room acoustics go down to 20 hertz, so I heard a 20 hertz tone really clashing with the bass line. So I just cut it off, the last piece of the kicks, or make it shorter, or you know, do something about that so that it blends way better with the bass line. And C says noise is good, it reminds you of the North Sea. Actually, the North Sea is also in Holland, but for me it's even a 1.5 hour drive. Noise is good, as long as it's random noise, so not a noise loop from a plugin or something, but real noise. There are theories that it does bring your mind into a certain state, and that the emotion from the music will come across even better when there is a bit noise behind it. It's a really crazy theory, so she does have a point, and that's what I want to highlight. She or he. I don't really know if it's a she or a he. It looks like a she, but I don't know. Spuds3. Whoa, your mix blew his clean out the water. Remind yourself that it's not about a competition. I'm not competing against the mix of my client. I just give it my own thoughts and my own views. That's what I do to the mix. And yes, you can see this as being better, but most of the times I just say that my mix is different, and because I did so many mixes, and I really adjusted my opinion to what is actually commercially available and what is accepted in the commercial listening world and the radio world and the Spotify world, my mix is a lot better for publishing and for getting it out there. But it doesn't mean that the other mix is bad. It's simply that it's a mix that doesn't sound like anything that people are used to hear, like the listeners are used to hear, like the people that drive to their work in the morning and listen to music, and you know, the listeners, the people that are not in the music industry. That's how I mix. I really mix for the listeners. Hey YT Studio, are you tagging your videos with snake oil? Clickbait, I suppose. Doesn't seem as you have understood the term snake oil. Well, I do understand the term snake oil. I came up with naming my video snake oil, because snake oil simply is a product that doesn't deliver what it's marketed as. And snake oil is the real snake oil, like the oil you can buy in Arabia. I think it's sold in Arabia or India or something. It's like oil that has, you know, magic cures to diseases or something, but doesn't do anything at all. It's like a placebo. And that's also what snake oil is. And I'm labeling my video snake oil because that's how I'm calling the series. And there's a question mark behind it, because I'm asking the question, snake oil or not? That's the question I'm asking. So yeah, and is this clickbait? Of course it's clickbait, because if you don't do clickbait on YouTube, your channel won't grow. I will link a video of Linus Tech Tips who explains this. You have to do clickbait. And the thing is, I think that clickbait is allowed. I enjoy other people that clickbaiting their videos, as long as they are clickbaiting their video in a way that you actually get delivered what you're clicking on. Videos like how you get a millionaire in in 12 days is really, that's annoying clickbait. That's actually scamming, that's actually snake oil. Then it's not allowed, but clickbait in general is something that you just have to do. You just have to stand out between the rest of the videos, because that's just how the game works, and that's just how YouTube works. Native Gringo, I appreciate someone like yourself with influence to discuss this topic because it's a real life facts. It's all about what works for you, but there's a reason I've always preferred PC. I have to point out that I don't have any influence at all. I'm not an influencer. Maybe the top 100 YouTube channels do have maybe some influence, but I don't think that I will ever have that much influence on such a big company. Maybe I will have some influence on some smaller companies. One of them, by the way, which I have actually influenced in a different way, is Mixed Analog. I've influenced them in a way that they have started making videos about what they are doing, because that was the main issue when I was visiting their website. Everything was cool, but you weren't sure if you were being ripped off or not. And now that they are making videos and explaining what they're doing and, you know, really showing the circuitry and showing the stuff off. They even had a live stream of their rack, so you could really see your own audio going through the rack and stuff. That really made the thing real. I'm not sure if I was the only one that inspired them to make YouTube videos, but I know that I did, you know, get them to move a bit, and that's what I'm really happy about. But in general, I'm not really like an influencer. I don't see myself as an influencer. Let's just say that. DJ Morgan La Poma says, get a haircut. You look like a girl. You look like a girl, dude. Yeah. And then someone else says, unnecessary comment, dude. Have you never seen a rock band, metal band, Steve Duda? No. Pretty common to see guys with long hair in the music industry. Yeah, it is. And I don't want to be a normal guy. I mean, why should I blend in? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, everybody already has short hair, so why should I do that? Heck, I'm even wearing different socks every day. Like a different one on the left and a different one on the right. I don't really care, but it's also like there are all these fictive rules, like guys should have short hair, a woman should have long hair, women should have everything that's like pink, and guys should have everything blue, and guys like big cars, and women like I don't know, Barbies, or what is really typical stereotype. I'm not even good at this. I don't agree. Let's just say that. I don't agree. Alright, and the last one is Suterkane. Peace. Which tape machine is that? That's the Telefunken M15. I really needed to look at it to remember it. It's a Telefunken Magnetophone 15A. There are different versions of them. I have a 15A. There's also I think it's a 15, just a 15 without the A. The difference is, mine has got op amps, and the normal machine is a Class A machine. I don't have the Class A transistor machine. I really want to have that one, but yeah, this was the one that was out there, so I bought this one. And it was also really close to my studio. It was actually in Sound Vision Studio. So I'm going to finish my coffee and edit this video, publish it all for you. I hope you guys have a great day today. As a last thing, I want to remind you guys of Patreon, where you can get early access to my videos and priority answers and a whole lot of other stuff. So check out Patreon, and also check out other videos of me over here. But first check out Patreon, okay? Thanks, bye bye.